an epitaph.
Came you from Padua, from Bellario?
From both, my lord, Bellario greets your grace.
Why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly?
To cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt there.
Not on thy soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew. Thou makest thy knife keen, but no metal can. No, not the hangman's axe. Pay half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no prayers pierce thee?
No, none that thou hast wit enough to make.
Oh, be thou damned in execrable dog. For thy life, let justice be accused. Thou almost makest me waver in my faith to hold opinion with Pythagoras that souls of animals infuse themselves into tongues of men. Thy careless spirit governed a wolf who was hanged for human slaughter. Infuse itself in thee, for thy desires are wolvish, bloody, starved and ravenous.
Till thou canst rail the seal off from my bond, thou but offence thy lungs to speak so loud. Repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin. I stand here for law.
This letter from Bellario doth commend a young and learned doctor to our court. Where is he?
He attendeth here hard by, to know your answer, whether you'll admit him.
With all my heart, some 3 or 4 of you. Go give him courteous conduct to this place. Meantime, the court shall hear Bellario's letter.
Your grace shall understand that at the receipt of your letter I am very sick. But in the instant that your messenger came in loving visitation was with me a young doctor of Rome. His name is Balthazar. I acquainted him with the cause in controversy between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. We turned over many books together. He is furnished with my opinion, which, bettered with his own learning, the greatness whereof I cannot enough commend.
You hear the learned Bellario what he writes, and here I take it is the doctor come. Give me your hand. Come you from old Bellario?
I did, my lord.
You are welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds the present question in the court?
I am thoroughly informed of the cause. Which is the merchant here, and which the Jew?
Antonio and old Shylock both stand forth.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow, yet in such rule that Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand within his danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful?
What compulsion must I? Tell me that.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives, and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute of awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself, and earthly power doth then show, likest gods, when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this. that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which, if thou follow, this strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant here.
My deeds upon my head, I crave the law, the due and forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Yes, I tender it for him in the court, yea, twice the sum. If this will not suffice, I will be bound to pay it 10 times though, on forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart. If that will not suffice, well, then it appears the malice bears down the truth. And I beseech you, for once rest the law to your authority, to do a great right, do a little wrong, and curb this devil off his will.
It must not be. There's no power in Venice can alter a decree established. 'Twill be recorded for a precedent, and many an error by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be.
Ah, Daniel, come to judgment. Oh, yeah, Daniel. Oh, noble and wise judge, how do I honor thee?
I pray you let me look upon the bond.
Here it is, most reverend doctor. Here it is.
Shylock, there's thrice thy money offered thee.
An oath, an oath. I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury on my soul? No, not for Venice.
Why, this bond is forfeit, and lawfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful, take thrice thy money, bid me tear the bond.
When it is paid according to the tenure, it doth appear you are a worthy judge. You know the law. Your exposition has been most sound. I charge you by the law, whereof you are a well-deserving pillar. Proceed to judgment. By my soul I swear, there is no power in the tongue of men to alter me. I stand here on my bond.
Most heartily, I do beseech the court to give judgment.
Why then, thus it is. You must prepare your bosom for his knife.
Oh, noble judge, excellent young man.
For the intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty, which here appeareth due upon the bond.
'Tis very true, noble judge. How much more elder art thou than thy looks?
Therefore lay bare your bosom.
Aye, his breast, so says the bond. Doth it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart. Those are the very words.
It is so. Are there balance here to weigh the flesh?
I have them ready.
Have by some surgeon, Shylock, on your charge, to stop his wounds, lest he do bleed to death.
Is it so nominated in the bond?
It is not so expressed, but what of that? 'Twere good you do so much for charity.
I cannot find it. 'Tis not in the bond.
You, merchant, have you anything to say?
But little. I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I am fallen unto this for you, for herein fortune shows herself more kind than is her custom. It is still her use to let the wretched man outlive his wealth with a hollowed eye and wrinkled brow, an age of poverty from which lingering penance doth she cut me off. Commend me to your honorable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's end. Say how I loved you, speak me fair in death, and when the tale is told, bid her be judge whether Bassanio had not once a love. Repent, but you that you shall lose your friend, and he repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I'll pay it presently with all my heart.
Antonio, I'm married to a wife that is dearer to me than life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not esteemed to me above thy life. I would lose them all, sacrifice them all, here to this devil, to deliver you.
Your wife would give you little thanks for that, if she were by to hear you make the offer.
I have a wife who I protest I love. I would if she were in heaven, so she could entreat some power to change this Scottish Jew.
'Tis well you offer it behind her back. The wish would else make an unquiet house.
These be the Christian husbands. I have a daughter. Would any of the stock of Barabbas had been her husband rather than a Christian? We trifle time. I pray thee, pursue sentence.
A pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine. The court awards it, and the law doth give it.
Most learned judge.
And you must cut this flesh from off his breast. The law allows it, and the court awards it.
Most rightful judge. A sentence. Come. Prepare.
Tarry a little. There is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thy pound of flesh. But in cutting it, if thou sheddest one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are by the laws of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice.
Oh, pride judge, Mark Jew, a learned judge.
Is that the law?
Thyself shall see the act. For as thou urgest justice, be assured thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest.
Oh, Mark Jew, and a pride judge, oh, learned judge.
I take this offer. Pay me thrice the bond and let the Christian go.
I have your money.
Soft, the Jew shall have all justice. Soft, no haste. He shall have nothing but the penalty.
Oh, Mark Jew, a learned judge.
Therefore, prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Take thou no more or less than a just pound, but be it but so much as makes it light or heavy in the substance, or the division of the 20th part of one poor scruple. Nay, if the scale do turn, but in the estimation of a hair, thou diest.
A second Daniel, still say I, a Daniel, now infidel, I have you on the hip.
Why doth the Jew pause? Take thy forfeiture.
Give me my principal and let me go.
Here is your money.
He hath refused it in the open court. He shall have merely justice and his bond.
Daniel, still say I thank thee, Jew, for teaching me that word.
Shall I not have my principal even?
Thou shalt have nothing but the forfeiture, to be so taken at thy peril, Jew.
Then let the devil give him good of it. I stand no more question.
Tarry, Jew. The law hath yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien, that by direct or indirect attempts he seek the life of any citizen, the part against the which he doth contrive shall seek one half his goods, and the other half goes to the privy coffer of the state, and the offender's life lies at the mercy of the Duke only, against all other voice, in which predicament I say thou standest. For it appears by manifest proceeding that indirectly, and directly too, that thou hast contrived against the very life of the defendant, and thus incurred the danger formerly by me rehearsed. Down therefore, and beg mercy of the Duke.
Beg that thou have leave to hang thyself. Thou hast not left the value of a cord, and for that thou must be hanged at the state's charge.
That thou shalt see the difference of our spirit. I pardon thee thy life before thou ask it. For half thy wealth, it is Antonio's. The other half comes to the general state, which humbleness may drive, unto a fine.
I for the state, not for Antonio.
Nay, take my life and all. Pardon not that. You take my house when you take the prop that doth sustain my house. You take my life when you take the means whereby I live.
What mercy can you render him, Antonio?
A halter gratis, nothing else, for God's sake.
If it please the Duke and all the court to quit the fine for one half his goods, I am content, so that I may have the other half in use to render it unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter. 2 things provided more, that for this reason he presently become a Christian. The other, that he record a gift here in the court of all he dies possessed unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter Jessica.
He shall do this, or else I do recant the pardon I late pronounced here.
Art thou contented, Jew? What dost thou say?
I am content.
Clerk, draw a deed of gift.
I pray thee, let me leave from hence. I stand no more question. Send the deed after me, and I will sign it.
Get thee gone, but do it.
In christening, thou hast 2 godfathers. Had I been the judge, thou shouldst have had 10 more to bring thee to the gallows, not the font.
Sir, I entreat you home with me to dinner.
I humbly do desire your grace of pardon. It is meet I presently set forth toward Padua.
I'm sorry that your leisure serves you not. Antonio, gratify this gentleman, for in my mind you are much bound to him.
A most worthy gentleman. My friend and I have been this day acquitted of grievous penalties in lieu whereof 3,000 ducats due unto the Jew. I freely cope for your courteous pains withal.
Indebted over and above in love and service to thee evermore.
He is well paid, that is, well satisfied. And I, delivering you, am satisfied, and therein do account myself well paid. My mind was never yet more mercenary. I pray you know me when we shall meet again, and so I take my leave.
Good sir, of foes, I must attempt you further. Take some remembrance of us, not as a fee, but as a tribute. Pardon me 2 things, not to deny me, and to pardon me.
You press me far, and therefore I will yield. Give me your gloves. I'll wear them for your sake. And for your love, I'll take this ring. Do not draw back your hand. I'll take no more. And you in love shall not deny me this.
Good sir, this ring? Alas, it is a trifle. I will not shame myself by giving you this.
I'll take nothing else. And now methinks I have a mind on it.
Actually, there's more to this than on the value, ma'am. Or the dearest ring in Venice shall I find you, and find it out by proclamation. Only for this, good sir, I pray you pardon me.
I see, sir, you are liberal in offers. You taught me first to beg, and now methinks you teach me how a beggar should be answered.
Pardon me, sir. This ring was given to me by my wife, and when she did give it, she did make me swear never to give it, or lose it, or sell it.
That skew serves many a man to save their gifts, and if your wife be not a madwoman, and know how well I deserve the ring, she would not hold out enemy on you forever. Well, peace be with you.
My lord Bassanio, let him have the ring. Let his deservings, and my love withal, be valued against your wife's commandment.
Go, Graciano, run and give him the ring. Go, and if thou canst, get him back to Antonio's house. Away, make haste. Come, you and I will thither presently, and in the morning early will we fly towards Belmont. Come, good Antonio.
inquire the Jew's house out, give him this deed, and let him sign it. We'll away tonight and be a day before our husband's home. This deed will be well welcome to Lorenzo.
Fair sir, you're well ordained. My lord Bassanio, upon more advice, had sent you this ring here, and doth entreat your company at dinner.
That cannot be. His ring I do accept most thankfully, and so I pray you tell him. Furthermore, I pray you show my youth old Shylock's house.
That will I do.
Sir, I would speak with you. I'll see if I can get my husband's ring, which I did make him swear to keep forever.
Thou mayst, I warrant. We shall have old swearing that they did give their rings away to men, but we'll outswear them and outface them too. Away, make haste. Thou knowest where I will tarry.
Come, sir, would you show me to this house?
The moon shines bright. In such a night as this, when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, and they did make no noise, in such a night, Troilus methinks mounted the Trojan walls, and sighed his soul towards the Grecian tents, where Cressid lay that night.
In such a night did Thisbe fearfully overtrip the dew, and saw the lion's shadow ere himself, and ran dismayed away.
In such a night stood Dido with a willow in her hand, upon the wild sea banks, and waft her love to come again to Carthage.
In such a night Medea gathered the enchanted herbs that did renew old Aeson.
In such a night did Jessica steal from the wealthy Jew, and with an unthrift love did run from Venice as far as Belmont.
In such a night did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, stealing her soul with many vows of faith, and never a true one.
In such a night did pretty Jessica, like a little shrew, slander her love, and he forgave it her.
I would outnight you did no one come, but hark, I hear the footing of a man.
Who comes so fast in silence of the night?
A friend.
A friend? What friend? Your name, I pray you, friend.
Stefano is my name, and I bring word about my mistress, who before the break of day be here at Belmont. She doth sway by holy crosses, where she kneels and prays for happy wedlock hours.
Who comes with her?
None but a holy hermit and a maid. I pray you, has my master yet returned?
He's not, nor we have not heard from him. But go we in, I pray thee, Jessica, and ceremoniously let us prepare some welcome for the mistress of the house.
Sola, sola, wo-ha-ho, sola, sola.
Who calls?
Sola, did you see Master Lorenzo? And Master Lorenzo, sola, sola.
Leave her, lying man, here.
So where?
Here.
Tell him this post come from my master with his horn full of good news. My master will be here a morning.
Sweet soul, let's in, and they expect their coming. And yet, no matter, why should we go in? My friend Stephen, signify, I pray you, within the house your mistress is at hand. And bring your music forth into the air. How sweet the moonlight sleeps upon this bank. Here will we sit, and let the sound of music creep in our ears. Soft stillness and the night become the touches of sweet harmony. Sit, Jessica. Look how the floor of heaven is thick inlaid with patterns of bright gold. There's not the smallest orb which thou beholdst, but in his motion, like an angel sings, still choiring to the young-eyed cherubims. Such harmony is in immortal souls. But whilst this muddy vesture of decay doth grossly close it in, we cannot hear it. Come ho, and wake Diana with a hymn. With sweetest touches pierce your mistress's ear, and bring her home with music.
I'm never merry when I hear sweet music.
The reason is your spirits are attentive. For do but note a wild and wanton herd, or a race of youthful and unhandled colts, fetching mad bounds, bellowing and neighing loud, which is the hot condition of their blood. But in his motion, like an angel sings. But if they perchance hear a trumpet sound, or any air of music touch their ears, you shall perceive them make a mutual stand. Their savage eyes turn to a modest gaze by the sweet power of music. Mark the music.
That light we see is burning in my hall. How far that little candle throws his beams, so shines a good deed in a naughty world.
When the moon shone, we did not see the candle.
So doth the greater glory dim the less. The substitute shines brightly as a king, until the king be by, and then his state empties itself, as doth an inland brook into the main of waters. Music, hark!
It is your music, madam, of the house.
Nothing is good, I see, without respect. Methinks it sounds much sweeter than by day.
Silence bestows that virtue on it, madam.
The crow doth sing as sweetly as the lark, when neither is attended. And the nightingale, if she should sing by day, when every goose is cackling, would be thought no better musician than the wren. How many things by seasoned are, to their right praise and true perfection. Peace, hurrah! The moon sleeps with Endymion, and would not be awaked.
That is the voice, or I am much deceived, of Portia.
He knows me as the blind man knows the cuckoo, by the bad voice.
Dear lady, welcome home.
We have been praying for our husband's welfare, which speed we hope the better for our words. Are they returned?
Madam, they're not yet, but there is come a messenger before to signify his coming.
Go in, Nerissa, and give order to my servants that they take no note at all of our being absent hence. Lorenzo, nor you. Jessica, nor you.
Your husband is at hand. I hear his trumpet. We are no telltales, madam. Fear you not.
This night, methinks, is but the daylight sick. It looks a little paler. 'Tis a day such as the day is, when the sun is hid.
We should hold David the Antipodes, if you would walk in the absence of the sun.
Let me give light, but let me not be light, for a light wife doth make a heavy husband. But never be Bassanio so for me. God sort all. You are welcome home, my lord.
I thank you, madam. Give welcome to my friend. This is the man, this is Antonio, to whom I am so infinitely bound.
You should in all sense be much bound to him, for as I hear, he was much bound for you.
No more than I am well acquitted of.
Sir, you are very welcome. It must appear in other ways than words. Therefore I scant this breathing courtesy.
By yonder moon, I swear you do me wrong. In faith, I gave it to the judge's clerk. Would you were jealous that had it for my part? Since you do take it, love, so much at heart.
A quarrel, ho! Already? What's the matter?
About a hoop of gold, a paltry ring, that she did give me, whose posy was, for all the world, like cutlass poetry, upon a knife. Love me not.
What talk you? Of the posy or the value? You swore to me when I did give it to you that you would wear it till your hour of death, and that it should lie with you in your grave. Though not for me, yet for your vehement oaths, you should have been respective and have kept it. Gave it a judge's clerk. No, God's my judge. The clerk will ne'er wear hair on's face that had it.
He will if he live to be a man.
I, if a woman, live to be a man.
Now, by this hand, I gave it to a youth, a kind of a boy, a little scrubbed boy, no higher than thyself, the judge's clerk, who begged it as a fee. I could not for my heart deny it him.
You were to blame, I must be plain with you, to part so slightly with your wife's first gift, a thing stuck on with oats upon your finger, and so riveted with faith unto your flesh. I gave my love a ring, and made him swear never to part with it, and here he stands. I dare be sworn for it, he would not leave it, nor pluck it from his finger, for all the wealth that the world masters.
Why?
Now, in faith, Gratiano, you give your wife too unkind a cause of grief, and 'twere to me I should be mad at it.
I were best to cut my left hand off and swear I lost the ring defending it.
My Lord Bassanio gave his ring away onto the judge that begged it, and indeed deserved it too. And then the boy, the clerk, who took some pains in writing, begged mine. Both man nor master would take aught but the 2 rings.
What ring gave you, my lord? Not that, I hope, which you received of me.
If I could add a lie unto a fault, I would deny it. But as you can see, my finger hath not the ring on it. It's gone.
Even so void is your false heart of truth. By heaven, I will ne'er come in your bed until I see the ring.
Nor I in yours, till I again see mine.
Sweet Portia, if you did know to whom I gave the ring, if you did know for whom I gave the ring, and for what I gave the ring, when not would be accepted but the ring, you would abate the strength of your displeasure.
If you had known the virtue of the ring, or half her worthiness that gave the ring, or your own honor to contain the ring, you would not then have parted with the ring. What man is there so much unreasonable, if you had pleased to have defended it with any terms of zeal, wanted the modesty to urge the thing held as ceremony? Nerissa teaches me what to believe. I'll die for it, but some woman had the ring.
No, madam, by my honor, by my soul, no woman had it, but a civil doctor, which did refuse 3,000 ducats of me, even he that did uphold the very life of my dear friend. What should I say, sweet lady? I was set with shame and courtesy. My honor would not let me in gratitude. Pardon me, good lady, for by these blessed candles of the night, had you been there, you would have begged me to give the ring to the worthy doctor.
Let not that doctor e'er come near my house. Since he hath got the jewel that I love, and that which you did swear to keep for me, I will become as liberal as you. I'll not deny him anything I have, no, not my body, nor my husband's bed. Know him I shall, I am well sure of it. Lie not a night from home, watch me, like Argus. If you do not, if I be left alone, for mine own honor, which is yet mine own, I'll have that doctor for my bedfellow.
And I, his clerk. Therefore be well advised how you leave me to mine own protection.
Let it be so. Let not me take him then. For if I do, I'll mar the young clerk's pen.
Oh, I am the unhappy subject of these quarrels.
Sir, grieve you not. You are welcome notwithstanding.
Sweet Portia, hear me. For in the hearing of these many friends, and even by thine own fair eyes, wherein I see myself...
Mark you but that? In both my eyes he doubly sees himself. In each eye one, swear by your double self, and there's an oath of credit.
Nay, but hear me. Forgive me this enforced wrong, and I promise never more to break an oath with thee.
I once did lend my body for his wealth, which but for him that had your husband's ring had quite miscarried. I dare be bound again, my soul upon the forfeit, that your lord will never more break faith advisedly.
Then you shall be his surety. Give him this, and bid him keep it better than the other.
Your Lord Bassanio, swear to keep this ring.
By heavens, it's the same ring I gave the worthy doctor.
I had it off him. Pardon me, Bassanio, for by this ring the doctor lay with me.
And pardon me, gentle Gratiano, for that same scrubbed boy, the doctor's clerk, in lieu of this last night, did lie with me.
Why, this is like mending of highways in summer, where the ways are fair enough. What? Are we cuckolds? We have deserved it.
Speak not so grossly. You are all amazed. Here is a letter. Read it at your leisure. It comes from Padua, from Bellario. There you shall find that Portia was the doctor, Nerissa her clerk. Lorenzo here shall witness I set forth as soon as you, and even but now returned. I have not yet entered my own house. Antonio, you are welcome. I have better news yet in store for you. This letter tells you that 3 of your argosies have richly come to harbour suddenly. You shall not know by what strange accident I chanced upon this.
I am dumb.
Were you the doctor, and I knew you not?
Were you the clerk? That is to make me a cuckold?
Aye, but the clerk that never means to do it, unless he live until he be a man.
Sweet doctor, you shall be my bedfellow, and when I'm absent, then lie with my wife.
Sweet lady, you have given me life and living, for here I read for certain that my ships have come home.
How now, Lorenzo? Nerissa has some good comforts too for you.
Aye, and I'll give them him without a fee. There do I give to you and Jessica from the rich Jew a special deed of gift, after his death of all he dies possessed of.
Fair ladies, you drop manna in the way of starved people.
It is almost morning, and yet I'm sure you're not satisfied with these events at full. Let us go in, and charge us thereupon interrogatories, and we'll answer all things faithfully.
Let it be so. The first interrogatory, that my Nerissa shall be sworn on, is whether till the next night she rather stay, or go to bed now, being 2 hours today. But would the day come, I should wish it dark, till I've a couching with the doctor's clerk. So, as keeping safe Nerissa's ring.
In the old Venetian land lived Antonio, whose heart both noble and grand. When the day arrives, it's justice that's right. When all our fate is gone, true love stands strong.
I think all of you will agree it was a spellbound program. It was a great program. I think we have to give them a great clap. School of Law, Christ University did a wonderful program yesterday and today. Most important thing is they have taken everything of the Merchant of Venice, and every iota is added, nothing extra, nothing less. For that, you are great. School of Law, Christ University, thank you very much. And you have to understand they are a group of students. 80% of them are first year School of Law students. That is, their age is only 17 or 18. The power of communication, the power of presentation, all the things you have experienced. Next 4.5 years, good number of them are going to be with us. You are definitely an asset for the university, asset for the School of Law, and all the best for you young people. Yesterday, the father of the modern School of Law, Professor Madhavan Menon, was here. And again, one who inspired the Christ University management to start School of Law also was here, that is Justice Saldana. Both told world-class performance. And the diction and the performance, everything they said world class. And the whole concept of this program came from Professor Madhav Menon. And there was a panel discussion how justice is done through the Merchant of Venice. So it was an internal assessment for these young people. More than a performance, it was a education, it was a life change in them. So once again, thank you. And I have to thank definitely the School of Law, Father Benny, and Professor Somu, and the entire School of Law teachers. I to thank all of you audience for the wonderful audience here, Registrar, again, Alumni President, Mr. Jugunu Oberoi, all the fathers and many teachers, and all of you parents, because you are definitely gave your wonderful children to this institution. So thank you very much, and thank you for your cooperation. One person, you may be wondering who did this. When Professor Madhav Menon was suggesting this concept during the inauguration of the School of Law program in this academic year, Father Benny, Professor Somu, and myself were thinking who will direct them. One person who was chosen by all of us, who was here for some years, is Esther Yates. A powerful lady of the campus. She can do miracles. Sometimes she pretends to be very, very humble, but she's not that much humble. So I'm inviting Esther Yates. Where is she? Ma'am, please come. So, thank you again, young people, for your teamwork. Those who worked in MOV, we were thinking, what is this MOV, the crew? You did a good job, Merchant of Venice, MOV crew, and she made the entire class to make the performance. So next year you may lose